What is up, traders? Stan Gluzman here with 7 Points Capital. Let's talk about some of the setups, the general markets, what happened here today with technology sector and what we traded today. So let's look at SPY today. Pretty interesting day, wide range. It gapped up this morning and then sold off pretty much all day. Um, Most of this was due to technology sector, which moved along with it. AMD, INTC. Um, so technology sector pulled back a lot today. Nvidia. So I was actually trading AMD and watching Nvidia. Traded a little bit of Nvidia. Actually missed this whole drop in the morning, but I got back in. I got in on the long side once it started making higher lows. I started actually buying AMD in here and then selling into the rips, and then buying dips, selling into rips, and then I noticed that Nvidia actually started to break down. It put on the lower high over here and started to break down, make lower highs and lower highs, and AMD was just kind of in the range. So I got short in here. Actually, right here was my entry at 998, and then I covered into the big washout. That was a pretty big trade. Another big trader for me was DPW. DPW has been pretty active, very active low floater past couple of days, past week or so. Um, Gapped up, rallied, and then sold off. That's what it usually does. Gaps up and sells off every single time. So in here it sold off and then it held. So my theory was it probably shorted a lot, trapped a lot of shorts in this range right here and gapped up this morning. So I'm thinking everybody who shorted prior few days is now underwater. So I was actually long biased out of the gate. I was thinking long washouts and sell into big parabolic moves, which I started buying at 250, and unfortunately it didn't bounce. It just went straight through the support and then started consolidating. So I actually flipped to short and got, made my money back. Started shorting into these wicks near VWAP. This is one of my favorite setups. If it tries to go through VWAP and it can't, and it wicks people out and then comes back down, I want to be short into these wicks and cover into the big washouts. So the thing about low floaters is they can actually change trend really fast. So you have to be pretty fast with your covers. I did hold a core position on the short side. Um, at 234 was my average, and I just held it, stopped 235. It started to put on lower highs, and then boom, changes trend. V bottom, little V bottom over here, and then higher lows, higher lows. I actually got stopped out at 235 and left it alone until it got triggered. So getting triggered is something that I call when it starts to short squeeze. The bids reserve, the offers is just getting wiped out, and it just starts flashing up 3, 2, 3, 4 cents at a time. So I call that triggered. Every dip is a long. So I think I was buying actually pretty late. I started buying right here, 265, 266, selling into 270, high 270s, mid 270s, I mean, and then buying dips and selling into these big rips. So this is my best stock of the day, and it went pretty damn high. My last sell was, I believe, right here, 230. So every dip I was buying on the bid and then into any big rips. So once it puts on, starts to reserve some offers, I would be selling on the offer and collecting a rebate on both sides. So this was a pretty nice trader today, and tomorrow I'm definitely going to be watching it for either continuation, maybe parabolic in the morning, fade fade trade, short into a parabolic and cover washouts, or if it starts to put on washes out, traps some short, I'll be looking to get long. So this is a very emotional chart, and I absolutely love taking advantage of these. Um, My other big trade was in IMMU. This biotech that dropped pretty nicely today. Let's see, right here. So gapped up a little bit in the morning. Let's look at the daily chart. Pretty weak chart. So it was kind of consolidating around this support here, and then today I just snapped. And I actually missed most of the move. I shorted it. I believe in here. This was a pretty tight setup. I saw it and I was waiting for a tight setup, so I got short in here. It was already short seller restricted, so you technically couldn't hit the bid, but we have certain routes that allow us to get in between the bid and the offer. Some people call it special technology. We just call it good routes. So I was shorting it in here, and then I think I covered pretty early into this big wash, and I left it alone until um, right here when it started putting on wicks. I started shorting, actually sitting on the offers, and covered into this consolidation. A lot of buying stepped in. The bid started reserving. It was pretty easy to sell on the offer, so that was a cue for me to get long. Get long, sell 906, get short 906, and covered right at 4 o'clock at 897 and 896. Actually, the quote got pretty thick towards the end of the day. After 3:30, 3:45, the quotes get really thick, and you can actually get pretty big. So this was actually one of the biggest trades, even though it's only like 3 candles. But I had some size on this one, and it pretty much like almost doubled my whole day on this trade. Look at DPW, it keeps squeezing. So it actually broke the high, the previous high, which was 350, I believe, and it's at what, 388 right now, which is pretty crazy. We'll see what happens tomorrow. So that was pretty much my day. Um, if you guys have any questions, you can tweet at me, Jokana Trader, or you can shoot a tweet at 7 Points Capital Twitter. Either or, I'm active on both accounts. So these were some of my setups. Don't forget to smash the like button, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys soon.